Hi guys. So listen, we'll see how long this lasts. It's not looking like too long. Actually, hang on. Nope. Sorry. I shut off the car. I mean, it's warm out, but it's not like I won't die. But shut off the car and I was gonna put the windows down, talk to y'all, enjoy the nice little breeze coming through. However, it is that time of the year when the bees get kicked out of their nest and they're everywhere. And, well, they are everywhere around my, oh, that one's a yellow jacket. They are everywhere around my car. So windows down, not happening. I'm going to try to keep the air conditioner off so that you can hear me and not just my car blowing. It is what it is. So I haven't been on here for a while, and I thought I'd just hop on for a little bit. I put a poll up on my community tab wanting to know if you guys still wanted to see what I'm eating every day videos. I'm a creature of habit. I basically eat the same things. Occasionally I change it up. It's rare, but I do. But I don't want to bore you. But at the same time, one of the reasons I even started doing them is because the other channels I watched, people would ask them, what are you eating? What do you eat? What do you eat? What do you eat? And it became very clear to me that people want to know, like they want to visually see what you're eating so that they have an idea, right? And I'm a very visual person, so doing that would help me as well. And I like to watch meal prep videos and what I ate today on XYZ diet, whatever that is. Even if it's not a carnivore diet and it's low carb or keto or even Weight Watchers or even freezer cooking. Because what I do is I watch those and then I'm like, okay, how can I alter this to fit what I do? Or how can I change up this recipe for me? So there's inspiration in that for me. But if my husband had to watch these videos, it would probably be like watching paint dry or nails on a chalkboard, right? Not everybody has the same interest. So I don't want to bore my audience, but I do want to give you what you want. Also, if you have not checked my community tab, I cannot talk obviously today, but if you have not checked my community tab yet, I do have my carnivore pizza crust recipe and my carnivore meatball recipe there. I know a couple people had asked. That is where I posted them. I know a lot of people put them in the description, but that's not always easy to take a screenshot of. And it makes it easier for me to just go right back to that recipe on my community tab if I ever need it again, right? So they are there. If you haven't checked, do check. If you haven't been checking my community tab, please check, because I am trying to use it more. I'm becoming more familiar with the options available to me on my channel, like the shorts. I've been playing around with those. And y'all, do not take my shorts seriously, please. Just do. Some of them I'm very serious about, but most of them are me taking clips from one of my videos, and it's literally just meant for fun. Like it's meant for fun. It's meant for me to get used to doing shorts, because I'm not. So don't take them seriously. Also, as my channel is growing, and I am so glad it is, and I welcome all of you, even the trolls, I have developed some trolls. And I know that some of you want to defend me, and I appreciate that, but please don't feel like you ever have to defend me. I promise you, I am not offended at all by any of the comments I've received so far. And I've received some pretty nasty comments that are not nice, that people probably would never say to me face to face. They don't offend me. I actually find some of them quite amusing. I have a very good sense of humor, and I'm not offended by them. Some of them I love. I love getting... I know a lot of people would probably be in tears with some of the comments that I've received and that I'm starting to receive. I'm not that person. I learned a long time ago that somebody else's opinion of me is not my problem. That's theirs. That's their issue. So while there was a time in my life where most of these comments that are unkind would have probably devastated me and sent me to tears, that's not who I am today. It's just not. I've gotten past all that. I really have. So you don't feel the need. Like, I mean, if you want to, obviously do, but don't feel you have to. I'm okay. They aren't hurting my feelings or offending me. And so far, I haven't deleted any. And I probably won't unless it touches on my family. I probably would not other than that. Because my daughter is very aware that I have this channel, and she loves being on this channel. That's my line. Like, we aren't going there. But I don't want her to someday go and read these comments and see things like that about her. You know what I'm saying? But me, she's very aware of the comments I'm getting. And she's also very aware of how I'm taking them. So we're all good there. But where am I now? She's at soccer practice. This is the first of two today because after this, she has goalie training. She had a game yesterday, which was Sunday, and her team won their game. They won 6-1. She played defense part of the time and goalie part of the time, and she killed it. She did great. She did really good. She had a good first game. So excited to see how the rest of the season goes. She has a new coach this season. She's moved up a level this season. The coach is definitely more into conditioning, and she trains them harder than she'll ever play them. But that's a good thing because when they get to the field, it's easier for them. She loves her coach and she's having a good time, and that's what matters. So yeah, that's where we're at on that. And that's what I'm doing here today. My husband is spending time with his mom, and he's been doing that most of today. He's going to try to get back in time to see at least some of her practice, or maybe the next practice. It just depends how it goes with his mom. So yeah, that's what my day's doing. I've been running a lot more, getting out of the house a lot more than I used to. I just never used to get out as much. After I had COVID pneumonia and then I had pneumonia again, I don't want to say I became a hermit because, let's face it, I am a homebody anyway. But it took a lot of time to recover from that. I mean, I technically still haven't recovered all the way from COVID pneumonia. And that's been a year and 9 months ago, right? So I'm still having the vocal issues. I'm still having some breathing issues that the vocal therapist thinks could be related to when I had COVID. So I still have long-term COVID side effects that I am dealing with. But I am a lot further along and a lot better than, sorry, I am watching her at practice at the same time. I am a lot further along and a lot better than I was then. I mean, let's put this in perspective. I don't know that I have ever laid it out. I may have, I may not have. I have so many videos, like, I don't know what I've said, where I've said. But after I got home from the hospital, my oxygen would dip. And for me to be able to get up and move, my oxygen on my O2 sensor needed to be 90 because it would dip quick, okay? So we had chairs sat up from the living room, and I was sleeping downstairs, from the living room to the kitchen, so that I could get up and go to the bathroom and then come back from the bathroom to my chair, because at that time I had my chair. These chairs were sat every 2 to 3, maybe 4 steps. 5 would be pushing it. So 2 to 5 steps, 5 pushing it apart. And I would go that far and have to sit and wait for my oxygen to come back up and catch my breath, because you would hear me out of breath, struggling for air. And then when it got up to 90, I'd have to quickly go again to the next seat. And there would be 5 or 6 chairs along the way to get me from point A to point B. It's not a long walk. My living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom. Like, it's not a long walk. Maybe 20, 25 steps. Maybe, if that. But it was a process. So I'm frustrated that I am not more mobile. That I can't just go for a 15, 20-minute walk or a half-hour walk. Or do that 15-minute video in one go, more than a couple minutes at a time. I'm frustrated by that because my mind wants to do it, but my lungs, my breathing, my body, we're not there yet. But I have to remember where I came from, right? I mean, when I was in the hospital, my oxygen was so low, I was on 100% oxygen. I was literally fighting to live. I was fighting for my life in there. And I wasn't allowed to do anything on my own. They literally had a commode bedside, and I literally would stand up, turn around, sit down. I wasn't allowed to pull up my own pants or underwear. I wasn't allowed to pull them down myself. I wasn't allowed to wipe myself. Y'all, you know how humiliating that is? First of all, to have someone in there with you, but to have them have to do that. But they would not allow me to do it myself because my oxygen would dip too low and I could pass out or fall or faint. So even though I was wearing oxygen at the time, I was not allowed to do that. And there were times when they had to turn the oxygen up a little more just so I could breathe through them doing it. So I was, like I said, on 100% oxygen at one point. Fortunately, as quickly as I got on 100% oxygen, fortunately for me, it started turning around. It was not looking good for a while at all. But that's a humiliating experience. And I can't do anything about when I had COVID, okay? I can't go back in time and change that. But I can sure make sure that I don't have to ever experience that again because of my weight. Or because I got COVID again because of my weight. Did I get COVID because of my weight? Who knows? Could have been the diabetes, could have been the weight, could have been a combination of everything. Could have just been dumb luck. However, I had it, almost died, survived, and I am a long way from where I was when I got out of there. But I still have a long way to go. And I do want to keep looking forward and looking ahead. However, I also need to take time once in a while to look back from where I came from. Because otherwise it can be discouraging to see the journey I still have to go. And too easy to forget the journey I've been on already. It's not a place I ever want to be in again. And it's not a place I wanted to be in again at the end of last year when I had pneumonia. Not COVID this time, but pneumonia. And here I was back in the back in the hospital, back on oxygen again. Fighting again. Much easier fight than before. But still. My daughter just got over being really sick, really bad virus, very contagious, 103.5 fever at one point, throwing up, diarrhea, like everything, right? But y'all, I didn't get it. And that was the first question the doctor asked us at the appointment. How's he feeling? How am I feeling? Because me getting that could have landed me back right in the hospital, right? Back on oxygen. Because that's how it's been in the past. So this is a positive step. I don't know that I wouldn't. I mean, maybe I wouldn't have. But maybe I would have gotten sick had I not been doing carnivore this whole time. I don't know. I don't know. I definitely feel a change. I feel a change in my vision. I'm seeing clearer out of both eyes, especially out of this one, which is the worst of the two. I can see letters clearer out of that eye on a book or in the Bible. Now, they're giant letters, y'all. But as far as making out words with that eye, that's still a challenge. But I'm seeing improvement. So I'll take it. That's a good thing. I go back to the, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So we'll see how it is then, because that appointment is quickly approaching. Now, tomorrow I have vocal therapy again. So we'll see how that goes. I still hear the raspiness, and I probably will for a long time until we get through everything I need to do. So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in where you are and the struggle you're having and forget where you've been and where you've come from. And where I've come from was not a fun place. It was not a fun place. So I am thankful I'm not there anymore. I'm thankful I'm progressing toward healthier. It makes as much sense to me as it does to someone not familiar with carnivore watching my video. It does sound crazy, but I can't argue with the blood work. I can't argue with the blood pressure checker or the blood sugar checker. I can't argue with my A1C. The truth is, doing carnivore, I'm getting healthier from the inside out. I am quickly approaching 2 months. In fact, tomorrow it will be 2 months. And I haven't gotten this healthy in years, right? In 2 months. My numbers haven't improved this much in years, but in 2 months. Now, as y'all know, I'm a believer. And while I credit carnivore for helping me get healthier, I also credit the Lord for bringing carnivore to my attention, right? This isn't something that just landed in my lap. Like, I was praying, y'all. I was praying. Show me the right way to eat. Because there are so many things out there. And I watch all of those videos, right? I've done Nutrisystem. I watch those videos. I've done Weight Watchers. I watch those videos. I've done keto. I watch those videos. I've done low carb. I watch those videos. I've done intermittent fasting. I watch those videos. I've done like eat at home or eat clean. I watch those videos. But what happens is all that information swirls around in your head and you start questioning yourself. And you say, I don't know, maybe this is the right way. Maybe that's the right way. I don't know. For now, carnivore is working for me. I am starting to miss the veggies. I'm not craving them, but I miss them. Like, I miss being able to have a salad or a garden tomato or XYZ. I miss the veggies. I love veggies. But I also like the way I'm feeling right now. So, yeah. Will I go back to keto? Maybe. Probably. At some point. And it might be more of a ketovore thing, where I'm more carnivore, but if I'm really wanting a salad, then I may have that. But right now, I'm keeping it carnivore. What will I do tomorrow? I don't know. But right now, I'm keeping it carnivore. And I'm enjoying it. I'm not bored with it. So it's still benefiting me. I don't know that I have lost a ton of weight. The scale is going up and down for me, and it's not a significant amount, but I've lost quite a bit already. So it's going to slow down. So I'm okay with that. I mean, obviously I'd like it to be a lot more, but I've got to be okay with it because it's still progress in the right direction, and it's still progress. I'm not going the other way, and that is a very good thing. So it seems daunting if you're only losing a few pounds, or even if you stay the same. You're not going backwards. But if you're only losing a few pounds in a month, it doesn't seem like very much. But what if you lost that every month for a year? Like, that adds up, right? That little bit becomes very significant. So that's the headspace I'm trying to stay in with that, especially right now. I do weigh in, I would say every day, but there have been days I haven't. Most time, every single day. So I always know about where I am or where I am. But one thing I don't do every day is check my measurements. So I will be checking those tomorrow when I also jump on the scale and see how I've done, in the last 30 days and the whole 60 days to see where I've come. Because my guess is the scale isn't going to be too significant. There's definitely going to be a loss, but I don't know how significant that's going to be. So I want to make sure I'm focusing on other areas too, just for my own mental well-being there, to keep me moving forward. My clothes are definitely fitting looser and they're bigger. They're hanging longer. My shirts are. I'm constantly pulling my pants up. And they're the elastic stretchy pants. They usually stay up, but I'm constantly having to hike them up now too. My shoes are starting to feel huge on me, like really huge. So I'm seeing progress. Obviously, we all want to see it on the scale, but at the same time, I need to remember my body is healing and it's changing things around. And there's a lot going on inside me right now that's making me healthier. And those things are more important than the number on the scale. My A1C, way more important than that number on the scale. My blood pressure, more important. I would say cholesterol, but y'all, we all know that's not the end all there. That's not actually all fact that we've been told. I am trying to increase my fat and even decrease my protein a little bit. Not because I feel like I'm overeating, although it is a lot of food sometimes, but because I'm just not that hungry. I'm trying to think how to say this, because it's not that I don't get hungry. I do from time to time. In fact, during church yesterday, my stomach got very vocal with me and said, maybe you should have had breakfast this morning, which of course I had not. But sorry, everyone. The angle may have changed and everything. I got a phone call. It was my husband calling me. He's on his way. So I don't know where I left off. I don't. But I wanted to at least come on here, show my face, and just let you know that it's a process. Okay, and if you're thinking of starting carnivore, I strongly encourage you to. I'm not a doctor, but it's working for me and it's helped me a lot. And the one thing that it's helped me the most with is not being so confused by all these other diets and plans, right? I don't feel tempted as long as I have planned and I have prepared and I've eaten when I'm hungry, or have quick grab and go things like hard-boiled eggs or the pepperoni chips, things like that. I'm not even tempted, like at all. And if you are in the position I was in before I started carnivore, then you totally understand what I'm saying when I say that. I'm not tempted at all. I'm not craving anything other than meat. And I don't feel the need to go off the plan. Will I at some point want to do keto? Probably. Only because I want the vegetables. But I want them. I'm not desiring them. I'm not craving them. It's more of a mental thing. I like vegetables. But until I get to the point where I'm absolutely craving them, I'm staying carnivore. And if you see a salad here and there, then you'll know, okay, well, she had enough of that and she has decided to toss in a salad. It will not be the end all if I have a salad. Like, it just will not. It will not be the end all if I make some sauteed onions and peppers and tomatoes to toss on a steak. But that's not what I'm going to do right now. Will I get to that point? Maybe. Do I feel like I'm going to get to that point? No, I don't. But I'm not ruling it out either, because I know of my love for veggies. So I want to be very open and honest with you all and let you know that if you ever see that, yeah, I probably craved a vegetable. But I also want to be able to show that and not... I don't want to tempt anybody who doesn't want to eat those things. And I don't want to not show it just because I don't want to tempt someone to not eat those things if I'm consuming them. So, like I said, at this point, I'm not ruling it out, but it's not something I'm going to do right now. I just don't feel the need to do it right now. If I was really craving it and struggling, then yeah, I would absolutely throw that back in, because that is far better than eating the standard American diet I was eating before. Far better. As of right now, my labs are getting better. My blood work's getting better. My A1C, so much better. My blood pressure is so much better. I feel so much better. I have so much more energy. My sleep, it's a tricky thing. It's better in that the sleep I do get is more restful. However, I'm still not getting a lot of sleep, but that isn't because of carnivore as much as that's just my lifestyle. I stay up too late and then I get up early because she gets up at 5:15 for school. So if I'm going to bed at 2, which is what I did last night, and then I get up at 5:15 in the morning for school to get her ready, get her there and everything, it is what it is. Like, I can't blame that on carnivore. That's me staying up too late. And one of the reasons I was up so late yesterday is because I took a nap yesterday. Because I was tired when I got home. We got up early. I didn't sleep a full 8 that night either. And we got up early and went to church, got some lunch, and went to her soccer game. By the time I got home, I was pretty hungry. And I was tired. So I took a nap. And I don't regret that nap. In fact, I'd like to be taking one right now, to be honest. But hopefully I just go to bed early tonight instead. We'll see, because what happens is it's almost like I get a second wind. And so I just keep going. My car is making funny noises. It's not on, but I did just shut it off a little bit ago. So, yeah. That's where I'm at. I feel like my head is in the game. Carnivore just feels right. It feels clear in the mind. When I would do keto, I would be so much more tempted by fast food and like all my usual go-tos. Or one of the issues I have is we're on the go a lot, and that typically means convenience. So if I don't have it prepped, we're usually running through a drive-through or going into a gas station. Typically, that is not good. That's when I would typically get the Big Mac and fries or what have you, or chips or candy bars, standard American crap, right? But the difference on carnivore is I'm never hungry. So even if they're hungry, I can wait 3 or 4 hours till we get home and eat my steak or my eggs and sausage and bacon. I'm okay with that now. Whereas before, I wouldn't. Like earlier, I went and picked up my mom because I needed to show her where she would pick up our daughter from her new school. Because when I get eye injections, sometimes my mom picks her up for me because we don't get back in time. And since I have that appointment coming up, I needed to make sure she knew where to go if I didn't get back in time. So when we got done, of course, my daughter's hungry. We just picked her up from school and she's about to have 2 back-to-back soccer practices. So my mom's like, well, I'll get her, what she wants. And my mom's like, well, what do you want? Are you hungry? And I'm like, no, I ate before I came. I'm not hungry at all. If I had not eaten, y'all, that could have been bad. That could have been a slip up. Because it may not have had a carnivore option. And I may not have been smart enough to take that carnivore option, right? But I wasn't hungry. It wasn't temptation. And I'm so glad that I thought to eat before I left. I'm so glad I did that. And let me tell you, I was on the fence. Because I'm like, I'm not really that hungry yet. But I know I'm going to be starving by the end of her games. And I didn't want to get starving. Because starving is when you have those slip-ups. So while I normally only eat when I'm hungry, I knew it was preventative. It was preventative. And it was a little less than I normally would have eaten. But it was preventative. And I don't regret doing it. I'm glad I did it because I wasn't tempted at all. And that is freeing, and it's a wonderful experience. And like I said, if you're in my situation that I was in pre-carnivore, you know exactly what I mean about falling off the wagon because you're so tempted by all these things, especially if you're a convenience person like me. I just need to plan better and make sure I'm making my own convenience things. All right, guys, this video is getting super long. But I do want to let you know that I will be making a video soon of how my 60-day weigh-in goes. I am going to try to take measurements too. And I'm going to try to let you know what I lost in the last 30 days, weight and measurements, and what it's been in the last 60 days, weight and measurements. Because it's getting significant. We went through the drive-thru at McDonald's one day to get drinks because I still have my Diet Coke habit, y'all. Still do. At home, I water it down, and I'm probably 3/4 carbonated water with Diet Coke. But when we go out and I get one, it's Diet Coke, right? But we went through the drive-thru, and the lady there, she hasn't seen me for a while. Obviously, you know, I've been a little busy doing carnivore, so I'm staying away from that drive-thru as much as I can. But she hadn't seen me, and she's like, "You're really, really losing a lot of weight. I almost didn't recognize you." And I don't see it like she does. I don't. But she noticed it, made my whole day. And I will tell you, I remember it very clearly because that day my weight went up on the scale a couple pounds. And I was like, dang it. You know, I did everything I was supposed to do. And I just said, that's okay. Trust the process. And that's what I try to tell myself when the scale isn't as nice to me as I feel it should be. I hear Dr. Ken Berry's voice in the back of my head saying, trust the process. So then I say, trust the process. Just trust the process. And the next day it's usually back down or whatever, 2 days. I'm trusting the process. And so far that's working for me, and I want to keep that momentum going. So be looking forward to that video. Keep your eye peeled on my community tab. Keep in mind, my shorts are mostly for humor. I'm just trying to get accustomed to being able to do them. The poll was a new thing that I'd never done before either. I'm glad I was able to figure out how to do that. And if you haven't voted in that, please do vote in the poll in the community tab. It will help me out greatly. All right, guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the little bell. It just notifies you whenever I upload a video. Yada, yada, yada. You know the spiel. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And please, 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 all of y'all, be blessed.